Hello and welcome to the Kingdom Live. My name is Zan and I'm joined today by Adam, Managing Director here at the Kingdom. Welcome.
Hi Zan, how are you today? I must say you are looking like a fashion model, which
like
you actually
kind
are. Yeah. It's very cold in Adelaide, believe it or not, unseasonal weather, 8 degrees.
Horrible.
September.
Really horrible.
Who would have thought?
Thanks for joining us today. Today we're going to talk about sales methods and whether or not your sales team and the skills that you've implemented with your sales team are stuck in the 90s. Firstly, do you even know? And secondly, join us and take our test as we compare 90s methods with the noughties methods, the year 2000s. We're out of the
Well,
noughties,
it's a passionate topic for me, Zan, so it's likely this is going to get pretty feisty, this presentation
Fantastic.
today. But we
haven't had a rant for a
day.
day.
We were in Sydney yesterday, yeah. So the bottom line is that we're heading towards 2020. 2016, it's amazing, 2020. So, but a lot of businesses that we see are still very much stuck in the 1990s way of thinking when it comes to sales. So we thought we'd help you out today and highlight exactly what it looks like to be stuck in the 1990s and give you the chance to test yourself and say, maybe it's time to renovate and get into the era in the 2020s. Yeah. So it's not just 16 because it takes a bit of time to get ready. It's 2020 we're talking about here.
Fantastic. All right, so let's start with our first example of how things were done in the 90s. Are you still doing it that way? And what's the equivalent to doing it today in the year 2016? Adam, what have we got?
Cold calling. Nobody likes doing it. Nobody likes getting it. You used to do it.
Oh my God.
It's awful. No one likes doing it. No one likes getting it. It's game over. It doesn't work anymore. And so the reason why cold calling doesn't work, it used to in the 90s because we didn't really know and didn't have the access to information like we have now with the internet. So the internet just starting out, search engines hardly getting going, not much content on the internet. And so cold calling, hi, I want to sell you X, it's like, oh well, I've never heard of that, tell me more.
I think there was a bit of fear involved too, because as the receiver of that call, you didn't know that this wasn't going to be the next best thing that was going to change your life.
Yeah, and you hadn't perhaps got much cold calling before. It was pretty fresh and new. But in this day and age, it's all outsourced to cheaper, poorer nations, and we end up getting cold call after cold call, and we have absolutely no need for the product. If we want something this day and age, we'll go and discover it online. We'll go and find it on the website. So if you look at the way businesses tried to get sales back in the 90s, it was cold calling, going out and prospecting. These days, the alternative is to make sure that your website answers customers' questions, because people are going to find you based on what they search for on Google.
I'm having a little chuckle to myself here. Obviously, having done cold calling myself, there's so much irony involved in cold calling, because as the cold caller, I've gone through a significant number of Google searches to research the company that I'm about to cold call.
Yeah, you're doing the researching. When instead you should have been writing content for your website to make sure your website's findable when people find the category they want to search for. Very important. So cold calling's out, that's really 90s. Replace it with investment in your website. Get your website page count over 200 pages of content. Now, that would surprise a lot of people who have gone and made a 10, 20 page website and left it to sit in the corner. If you want to get found on Google, you need to be creating content, and you need to be answering your customers' questions, because when they go and search Google, it's Google's job to provide the answer, and Google gets the answers from websites like yours if you've got your content there.
So this is a really good time to sort of reference the black hat, white hat SEO, isn't it? So lots of people out there are making these stunningly creative, visually pleasing looking websites, but they don't actually have any words. So if you don't have any words, how are you going to get found?
Yeah, then they go and pay for Google AdWords to get on the side, which no one actually wants to click. Everyone wants to click in the bit where it's organic.
So it's this big vicious circle going around.
That's kind of like the marketing of the 2005s.
Yes, exactly.
We'll maybe do that next week. Okay.
So lots of pages, content.
Get content. Answer the customer's questions. Yeah. So when the customer's ready to buy, you're available for them then.
Fantastic. All right, the next one is a little bit of ABC. Take it away.
So I never forget the early 80s, late 80s and 90s sales training. We'd always be closing. The ABC of sales. Always be closing. Always be trying to get your customer closed so you can win the deal. Now, there's a whole bunch of these really amusing 90s salesisms, which still float around today. But the difference is in today's world, it's always be curious. Always be curious is the new ABC. And what that means is that be curious, try and discover as much as you possibly can about your prospect, whether it be on the net or in person. So, but we were always taught as salesmen, I grew up in this era despite my young appearance,
Sorry, keep going.
So,
I didn't mean to distract you.
So the process now of discovery means check out your prospects' information on the web where you can. Learn about their company, learn about their business, learn about them on LinkedIn and via the social media networks available to you. And when you're talking to them, be asking lots of questions and finding out what they know, because the chances are very high that by the time they're actually reaching out to speak to your salespeople and your sales team, the chances are very high the prospect has done a huge amount of web research, a huge amount of investigation. Vast majorities of sales people are outgunned with the knowledge that the prospects have, because they've got this wonderful mobile phone web-based resource available that tells them everything about your product. So you've got to be curious and discovering what they know so that you can cope with understanding how much they know and pitch your relevant information at the right level.
Fantastic. As easy as ABC, some might
Always
say.
be curious.
Excellent. All right, our next 90s-ism is the fax out. Did you do this?
People still have faxes.
I don't even know. Where would you put a fax? Like, where does it sit in your business?
Oh, it's even hard to throw out.
Oh, we tried.
I know, it's really annoying.
So the fax out, which then I guess morphed into the MailChimp to all of our email addresses. What's the 2016 answer to
2016 onwards to 2020. So the fax out, of course, you had the big list of phone numbers and you'd send the fax out, and we often used to get complaints at Nextbyte if the fax would go off at night. We're sending them out, but at the end of the day, the fax out, it's pretty powerful. You'd send your fax out and you get some deals.
Chock full of specials.
Chock full of specials, Now, there's still hard businesses doing this, and mainly because some businesses haven't evolved towards 2020, and that's okay. But if you're looking ahead to 2020, what does it look like now? Now, if you're doing this show on 2005 marketing, then you talk about email outs, right? So the alternative these days to fax outs is email outs, but to specified, specialized, segmented lists. So not the whole list, it's segmented lists. The people that have shown interest, the people that have actually been curated into the right grouping, and then on top of that, it's making sure that your email is personalized. Making sure you've got the personal details in that email.
So what are some of the benefits that we're going to see from doing this segmented emailing out? Obviously the personalisation makes me as the reader feel a bit warm and fuzzy, like you've taken time out of your day to email me independently. What are some of the other benefits we're going to see?
Well, it's really important because, first of all, to get trust, which is what's going to lead to a sale, you need to be assisting and helping the customer with the content. And if you're providing just a global spray of content, and by the way, don't email out about yourself. It's not about your awards or how your latest staff member is who's been employed. It's got nothing to do about you. Email, and that is very 2000.
Yes.
Email is all about providing the content that assists the customer on their purchasing process, on their journey. And so the content you give them needs to solve a problem for them. And so by having a segment of those customers, you're able to actually better define the problem you're solving for them. So it's really important. And seriously, stop sending me information about the awards thing. I mean, God, give that away. I'm sorry, Randy.
Rant bubble. I need a bubble. Rant.
Who cares about your awards?
Excellent. But one of the other things that I was hoping you would pick up on my directive
no, you go. You just get it out there.
Is open rates and click rates.
Oh, open rates. Yeah, you go.
Well, by segmenting lists, we see stronger open rates and much stronger click rates. So because the information that you're sending. Oh, sorry.
No, you go.
Imagine I knew. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
The information that you're sending out is actually relevant to the people that you're sending it to. So you can segment via touch on a website page or a certain collection on your e-commerce store. So if I've already looked at that, I'm clearly interested. So tell me more information about what I've been looking at.
Absolutely. And the thing also, I mean, this comes from the fact we're fatigued now with email. Back in the 90s, when email, like the late 90s, early thousands, then email was pretty new, so a lot of it got opened. But these days it's low. But if it's niching, if you actually got the segment right, then it goes up, and we definitely see that. And
we've talked a lot about headlines and how much time you should spend making sure that your headline is... your headline is captivating and alluring and going to bring me in.
Exactly.
And
Brilliant.
open rates get better with better
Correct.
headlines.
Absolutely do. Yep.
Fantastic. All right, now our next little gem is a personal favourite. It's the use of Excel as a sales tool. So what we're talking about here, or a database tool. So often we meet with people and we say, okay, so where do you guys keep track of what's going on with all the people? Oh, we just use an Excel spreadsheet. And a little part of you dies, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is... So I've got a real issue because I'm a FileMaker Pro database programmer. So Excel, I saw it back in 1988 university. It's a spreadsheet. It adds up numbers. Fantastic at doing that. But that's all it really... I mean, obviously there's a higher level stuff, but it's not your database program. It's never been your database program. Okay, so it wasn't a database program back in 2000 and back in 1990. It's a spreadsheet program. It adds up numbers. And now there are far, far better CRM programs out there that help you with all parts of the sales process. So it's time to get rid of Excel, get off those lists. It's just a linear list, for God's sake. I mean, I rant about this, I hate it. It's not a program that helps you nurture sales. It's not a program that helps you do sales. It is just a spreadsheet program, so get rid of it. The HubSpot CRM is an option though, it's free, worthwhile checking it out. But there's lots of other fantastic cloud-based CRMs, they're everywhere. And so one simple cloud-based CRM search will bring up loads of cool cloud-based software, and cheap, $4 to $5, $20 a month, not expensive stuff.
Yep.
I mean, HubSpot one's free, and it does so much more than Excel. It does all the same stuff Excel does, but so much more than that. And look, if you're really desperate to use Excel, you can export your data out and put it back in Excel.
Wow.
Yeah. But what is it? It's 30 years old. Get rid of it.
Okay. Well, there you go. There's the 90s version and the 2016 moving to 2020 version. Hopefully you've found some helpful tips in there. This will all be put together in a helpful...
Can I just sum it up?
Sure.
Yeah.
No, you go.
You know, all these things needed done. They're all needed because the market, the consumers have moved on. The consumers are not stuck in 1990. The consumers are in 2020. And they've got the power. They've got the power of the mobile phone, they've got the power of the internet at their fingertips. They can shop you globally, they can shop you locally, they can shop in your shop with the competitors. So the consumers have got all the power. This is very much part of the Seller Beware book that I'm writing and coming up in the next couple of months. So sellers do need to beware. Times have changed and you've got to get out of the 90s and you do have to start competing in the 2020s because the consumers are way ahead of us.
So we're going to move on to our app of the day now, and we did touch on Excel, and obviously Excel's sibling, cousin, whatever, is Word. What's your app of the day and how does it take place of Word?
So Word's a fantastic word processing program, great for writing a thesis, wonderful if you're writing a book or something with an index and table of contents. Word is not a desktop publishing program, and Word isn't the best way to do quotes anymore. So people have been doing quotes in Word for 30 years, just like using Excel. The days of Microsoft Office dominating it over, except that great programs like PandaDoc exist in the cloud and are fantastic for salespeople. So PandaDoc is a really good tool that allows you to build your quotes. It stores the different sections of your quote in a library. You can have an image library as well. You can actually have a catalog of your pricing information. It allows you to add up totals and tables and have e-signatures for sign-off. Really good program. It's on the cloud. Check out pandadoc.com. Fantastic option. Far better than Microsoft Word, gives you a competitive advantage over the goose who's still using Word.
Very good. There you have it, PandaDoc. Seek it out on the internets. Very cool. Thank you for joining us today. I apologise, I've got a slightly croaky throat. Hopefully that hasn't come across too badly. If you'd like to see any of our previous episodes, you can do so at thekingdom.com.au/the-kingdom live, and we will see you back tomorrow.
Rock and roll. Bye.